Hello everyone, my name is Chavez and my demonstration speech is on removing stains from clothing. According to Roadrunner Waste and Recycling, the average US consumer throws away about 81.5 pounds of clothing or textile waste, such as clothing or sheets and blankets each year, which estimates to about 11.3 million tons of textile waste in America alone, in which in 2018, 17 million tons of textile waste ended up in landfills. In 1971, soda ash was the first thing that was known as a stain remover, which was made from common salt. Stains typically come from working in the kitchen, eating, or working with oily substances. According to World Resources Institute, it takes about 2,700 liters of water to make one cotton shirt. Additionally, clothing and textiles take up to 200 plus years to decompose in landfills. No more throwing away good clothes and good money. Everyone should know how to remove stains because it can help have our clothes longer and remove them and keep them out of the landfills. And with that, we are ready to remove some stains. First thing we will need is we'll need a surfactant. So surfactant is a cleaning compound found in cleaning solutions such as dish soap, oven cleaner, and detergent. The next thing we'll need is a form of friction. So this involves either rubbing the clothing with your hands or using a brush. So in this case, I'll be using a brush. Obviously, you'll need your stained clothes, and then you'll also need a bowl of hot water. So what hot water does is it helps speed up the enzymes in your surfactant and make sure that the cleaning remover is more effective. So the first thing you'll need is you'll need your piece of clothing, and then you'll be adding your solution directly onto the stain. Next, what you need to do is add friction. So in this case, we'll be rubbing and scrubbing on our piece of clothing. Just make sure that it goes deep into the fibers, and that way it'll remove hopefully a bit more better from the clothes. You'll do this for some time. And once you feel that it is fully inside your clothing fabric, then what you'll do is you're gonna add it into your bowl of hot water. Now, with hot water, make sure you refer to your care label. Some clothing is more delicate than others, so if you will need to, you might need to use warm water instead of hot water. So please refer to your care label. So in the next case, then we'll put it into the hot water and make sure it's pretty hot. And then you will leave it in there until the water cools down. So hopefully about 30 minutes or so. And then once it's cool, then you will take it out. You'll take it out and you'll wring it out. And at this point, then you will review your clothing. If your stain is still on your clothing, then you'll need to go back and you'll need to spray it on again. And then you'll take your brush again or your friction and you'll make sure that you rub the stain again. At this point, make sure you review your stain once more. If your stain is not removed, then you're good to put it into the washer. If your stain insists on being on your clothing, you'll have to go back and try this a few more times. It is much more effective to try to remove your stain before it goes into the dryer or into your drying process, whether it's air hanging or in your dryer. As long as it's still on your clothing, most likely if it goes through the dryer, it'll become more permanent. This method does work on old stains, but depending on the age of your stain, the fabric you have on your clothes, or how many times it's been through the dryer, then it might impact on how effective the method is. So the more you can remove now, the better. Another alternative methods to stain removal is using baby powder on fresh oil stains. So if you have an oil stain in your clothes, then what you'll do is you'll put some baby powder on there and you'll hopefully leave it on there for as long as you can, at least about 2 hours. And then at that point, you'll try to dust off the baby powder and then hopefully your stain will be gone. You can try that a few more times and hopefully it'll be more removed at that point. Another alternative method is using hydrogen peroxide, which is also known to be a very good, effective stain remover. In conclusion, I explained why people should know how to remove stains and demonstrated the materials needed, and we went over everything step by step. Everyone should know how to remove stains because it will help save our planet and your wallet. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of solution. Do we have any questions?
Is it safe for kids?
So the first question was if it's safe for kids. I would say try to have adult supervision if your kid is going to be doing it, or a teenager. Make sure that they have some kind of supervision or permission, and depending on what kind of solution they're using, whether it's dish soap or something more stronger like kitchen solution, then depending on what they're using for that parent.
Does it work for all type of clothing?
So the next question was if it works for all type of clothing. This definitely is very effective for most types of clothing. You will still have to refer to your care label on that piece of clothing to see what kind of solution might affect it or not, to see if it's too harsh on the clothing and the fabric. So you'll have to refer to your care label depending on what you're using. Thank you, everybody.